Hi, my name is Talina, and I'm the Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Team Leader at DIAA. April is Sexual Assault and Child Abuse Awareness Month. Maybe you've noticed on our Facebook page we've had some posts related to um, several facts and statistics about sexual and child abuse within the deaf community. It is really shocking to see the numbers, but unfortunately, it's very common. Every month, we tend to do a Facebook Live to share what's happening within the community. This month, I would like to share my own personal story. This is my personal story that I wanted to share, and I want to let you know that I have already healed from this experience. My parents divorced when I was really young. I was always daddy's girl, and my dad started dating a new lady. She did not like me. She didn't like the idea of me being daddy's little girl. And whenever my dad was not looking, she would send me dirty looks. At first, I thought she was trying to be funny, so I thought I would do a dirty look back, kind of like a game. And it made her very upset. And then she would get mad and tell my dad that I was misbehaving. I was really confused and I did not understand what was going on. At the beginning, she would be nice to me, to win me over, and to show my dad that she can be a good mother. And that went on until their wedding. She would go to the movies with us and take us shopping, and she would pretend to be a good mom. At first, it was very subtle. Then she would start criticizing me, saying I was too old to do this and that. Like, for example, when Dad got home from work, I would run up to give him a hug and say hi after work, and she would tell me that I was too old for that. I can't hug Dad anymore. And then she told me that I wasn't allowed to sign anymore. She would encourage me to be more like hearing people around me, learn to speak, to listen, to lip read, and I wasn't allowed to sign. I was She thought that signing meant that it was a sign of the devil, and I thought I would no longer be able to sign. And she said if I signed, people would view me as a bad child. At first, I was scared, and I thought maybe she was right. I was afraid, so I would try not to sign when she was around. I would try to sign outside of the home, but inside, I was just wondering. I really wanted to sign, but I didn't want to just speak. I really wanted to sign. So I would sign outside of the home with my friends and things like that. I was trying to make my dad happy. I tried to make her happy as well, so that there wasn't problems in the home, but it was really hard. But I was becoming miserable. And then she would start hitting me and she would punish me over simple things like maybe I would spill the milk or I didn't finish my meal. And over time, her jealousy just increased. So the punishments became more severe, more harmful. And she would try to hit me, kick me. She would use objects to hit me. She would lock me in a room. Sometimes she would lock me in the basement. And in the basement it was often dark and cold. And the floor in the basement, it was like a cement floor. And the only thing there in the basement that kept me busy was this huge dollhouse that my dad had built for the kids to play with. It was huge, and so it was almost the same size as me. So I would stand there and play to keep me busy while I was locked in the basement. But every time I got hurt, I would try to report it to the police and let them know, like I have bruises, I have scratches. I tried to report it to the police, and finally I got escalated to DHS, but they didn't believe me, but I kept reporting it. And so my stepmother decided to stop hitting me because the police and DHS were getting involved and start to do more mental abuse so it wouldn't leave a mark. But that does damage too, you know. My dad, he started to work out of state, and he would be gone all week and only come home on the weekends. And of course, the abuse continued through the week, but on the weekends when he was home, nothing would happen. So one night I did sit down with my dad and I said, I have to tell you something. I told him about what's been going on. She's still hitting, still verbal abuse, all of this stuff. And he says, no, that can't be. She's a wonderful person. My wife loves us. She would never hurt you. And he says, it can't be true. It doesn't sound like her. And he said, no, that's not right. And so it made me feel maybe I was making up this story. Maybe my experience was wrong, but I knew that it was right. I knew what I had been feeling. I knew what I'd been going through, but I had no support. So I had the police, DHS, and my father all not believe me. One of my favorite memories, though, was with my dad, and he would go bowling. We'd go to the bowling. He was involved in a league, and I would go with him one night a week, and he would take turns with my brothers and sisters to go with him. But somehow, when my stepmother wanted to punish me, she would ground me and say, you can't go bowling because you're a troublemaker. You're not allowed to go. Oh, and that hurt so bad. And so somebody else got to go in my place, and I wasn't allowed to go bowling with my dad anymore. So that did happen. As I got older, she got more and more angry. And when I became a teenager, I became more defiant against her abusive ways. And I would speak up, and I would fight back, and I would let her know that she can't control me any longer. And finally, one day, I decided that I had to leave the house. I couldn't deal with her, so I left. I decided that I needed to go. So this is my story, my personal story. And I want you to know that verbal abuse is not okay. No one should suffer abuse as a child or as an adult. No one should have to suffer any type of abuse. It's not acceptable. Any type of trauma, it stays with us forever. We don't forget about that type of experience. It stays with us, but we can get help. We can heal from it. Often we wonder, what did we do wrong, or what did we do to deserve this, or why is this happening to us? Or maybe you think, was it my fault? Did I deserve the beating? Did I deserve this verbal abuse? But it's not your fault. It's not my fault. No one should ever be blamed for being abused. It is never my fault or your fault. So if you, or maybe you know of someone who's experienced trauma or has gone through this type of abuse, reach out and get help. And believe that child. Here at DIAA, we're here to help you. We believe you. Reach out for help. Thank you.